Hey y'all, welcome back to my video. Today's video is going to be my current favorites video. Let's see, the last time I filmed one of these was, God, over a year ago. Well actually I filmed I think it was my holy grails, but these are kind of my current favorites, but have also kind of been my favorites throughout the summer. These are things I brought with me to Canada and that I found myself reaching for found myself reaching for the most when I was in Canada. Also found myself reaching for, or find myself reaching for here back home in Georgia. So, let us get started. So I'm gonna do this in order of how I put on my face, like what products I use in order. So the first thing that I use, there's a few Wet n Wild products in here now that I'm looking at this pile. Okay, so the first one is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer. Basically, I have the whole Photo Focus line I actually really like from Wet n Wild because I feel like it caters towards oily skinned people. So this eyeshadow primer, I wore it today. I don't know if you can see my eyeshadow, but I've worn this pretty much all day. Still vibrant, no creasing. And because I'm oily skinned, the Photo Focus foundation line, like I said, caters towards oily skinned people. And, so their whole line is catered towards, not letting the oiliness kind of, break down your makeup, I guess you could say. Which, at the end of the day, there is still some wear and tear and breaking apart, unfortunately. I feel like you can't really avoid that with oily skin. I don't know. But it works fairly well. So the next thing I have is Nicole Concilio. I don't know if she collabed or just she was the face of these primer waters. I have all three: the Serene Greens, So Chill Coconut, and Centering Citrus. These are just, they smell really good. I like spritzing them on my face because they just have this fresh, summery scent to them, and they're just kind of fun. I think they did work fairly well for my makeup, or for my keeping my makeup on, because you can use them as primers and setting sprays according to this, and just a way to freshen up your makeup throughout the day. But I found that my makeup stayed pretty well over the summer when I used it, and it was fairly warm in Canada over the summer, and I feel like this helped keep it nice and fresh looking throughout the day. Yes, there was some obvious wear and tear that is just inevitable with oily skin, breaking down of the product, or especially around your nose, forehead, oily spots on your face. I'm oily pretty much all over my face, mostly like every other oily skin person, mostly on my T-zone. I found that these are just really nice and freshening. They do help. They do help keep your makeup on. They help set it. There was a setting spray that I used from Wet n Wild. I think it was their Photo Focus setting spray. One from NYX also that I used that was a matte setting spray, and I would say those are better, but these aren't bad. I think they're meant to be kind of less intense because they're for the summertime, really. And in the summertime, people don't wear as much makeup. If you live in a hotter climate, you don't wear as much makeup because it's sweats off. Okay, so I went through that. The next step in my makeup routine would actually usually be eyeshadow. And I have two palettes here that you saw in my eyeshadow palette collection. Dominique Latte palette. I already went through why I love this one. These shades are just, so you can see the top rows are just kind of warm toned neutral shades that you see in every freaking palette. And then the bottom row, you got a blue, a purple, some shimmers, just all around. It's a really good, cohesive palette. I just really like this one because it was cohesive. It was easy to work with. I use this so much. It's such an easy palette. It's a simple palette. If you don't want to think too much about having to create a look, you don't want to, your creative juices just aren't flowing that day, this is a good palette to just kind of put together a simple look. But also, if your creative juices are flowing that day, there's some fun two colors to kind of spice it up a little bit. So I really like this one for that reason. It's just simple but good for travel, and it's like not too big. This one, the next palette I'm showing is not as good for travel, but I still traveled with it because it's the Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star, and also discussed this one in my eyeshadow palette collection video. And the reason I love it is this bottom row right here, just these reds. For some reason, they're not picking up as intensely red on this camera as they actually are, but these, oh, this palette is just amazing. So you have a top row that's like just kind of boring neutrals. Well, not boring, because anything Jeffree Star releases is, you can't really say boring. But this top row, you can kind of do like an easy look if you really aren't feeling your creative juices aren't flowing. You can stick to this top row. But if your creative juices are flowing and you just want to do something cool and sultry and red and sexy, like this bottom row though, I just like could not get over when he released this palette. And when he first released it, I remember looking at it and going, and then I saw it, or I think he swatched it, and I was like, you know what? I freaking love red eyeshadows. I need that palette. I need it. So yeah, these two are kind of like holy grails. Travel palettes. Oh, well, since I've been home, I haven't really been doing my makeup, and since I've been home, I've been trying to reach into other palettes. But these were, like, when I traveled with multiple palettes to Canada, and these were always the two I picked up the most. These two and the Soft Glam palette. And I would put the Soft Glam palette in this video, but I kind of consider, like, all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes to be, like, just current favorites, because I love that formula and her palettes so much. So just keep in mind that the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes are always favorites, along with these two, actually. Like, these two are quickly becoming my holy grails. Next in my routine is foundation. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in soft beige. I used to have one shade lighter than this, but I think because I'm a little bit tanner right now, it makes me look like a ghost. But this foundation is so good. It's only $5, guys. It's only $5. Very mattifying, though. So if you have dry skin, you will hate this foundation. And people with dry skin hate this foundation. Just FYI. But this is actually a holy grail. Like, I think this was in my holy grail video. If it wasn't, it should have been, because I've been using this for a while, and I've tried other foundations, and I always come back to this Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation because it's that damn good to me. Like, I don't know. For oily skin people, it's a freaking godsend, you know what I mean? And then this one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. And this is the shade Light Ivory. Like I said before, the whole Photo Focus line is just so good for oily skin people. But that concealer just brightens my under eyes. I just love the way I look with it. Like, when I take makeup photos, I feel like I look so bright and fresh. And just, I love the way my skin looks because of that concealer and that foundation together. But also, on that topic, well, okay, before I get to, like, what really makes my skin look good, I'm going to talk about these matchsticks trios from Venti Beauty. This is the light one. I have the shades Amber, Starstruck, and Linen. This was like a trio you could get together for lighter skin. This is a contouring type of cream contour trio. I should mention it's cream contouring. I just really love how I use this. It's cream contour, which before this, I had never really tried cream contour. I was not really into it. Because I was like, I have oily skin. Why the hell would I want to cream contour with oily skin? But I started using this, and these like blend out like a dream. They're cream contour, but they kind of like blend out to like almost powdery. Like, they're super easy to blend out. Also helps brighten my under eyes, this highlighter shade. Just, it's always like a simple like bloop. Like, I just put the contour here, easily just blend it out. Even though it is cream, it easily blends out the lightening shades. But right here, along my nose, right here, sometimes up here, easily brightens, and then quickly, like, it doesn't stay powdery and sticky. It kind of dries down pretty quickly. Next in my routine, I'll start with this one, actually. So, the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. This was a spring launch this past spring. They came out with a whole natural collection. This face palette is freaking amazing. It's such a light wash of color. This isn't. Okay, I can't really say it's not pigmented because there is the bronzer shade. The one on the bottom on here, it is really easy to go heavy-handed on this bronzer shade, so you have to quickly. It's almost like a veil, a bronzer veil. Like you could put it over this matte bronzer. This is like a light bronzer veil, and it's just so beautiful. It smells good. These blushes, I mix them together. Like I'll use every shade in this to create a look, and I just love the way my skin. It's such a natural makeup look, and it's so beautiful. It's so brightening. It just makes you look so healthy, provides such a flush of color. It's just such a beautiful palette. A beautiful face palette. The one thing I will say is that this will only be good for like maybe light to medium skinned people, darker skinned people. I don't know how well this would look on them, or how much it would show up, which sucks because they should have come out with 2 different shades. Like I don't know why they just came out with the light, like one for lighter skinned people. Like why not come out with 2 palettes at least, maybe even 3 to cater to everyone. But don't let me rant about that because makeup companies just seem to like have a hard time grasping that they are more than just white people that do makeup. Like, get your shit together, guys. Like, people of color should not be an afterthought when coming up with shades for makeup. I'm sorry. That's why I like brands like Fenty Beauty, because it's so inclusive. Okay, rant over. Next thing. So RCMA, I don't know why I'm holding that. The RCMA No Color Powder and the Fenty Beauty Mattifying or Invisimatte powder, both of these to set my makeup, set the cream products down, set everything down, cut my contour kind of sharp. I use this just to mattify everything. Both of these are really good. I'm always reaching for these. This just helps my skin. It not only mattifies it, but it gives it this like, it's smooth. It's almost blurring. So it makes my skin look really smooth and blurred, and it's gorgeous, the finish. And I've already hit pan on it, so when I run out, I'm definitely buying more of that. And then the RCMA No Color Powder. If you are into makeup at all, you've probably heard of this because this is a cult classic, I feel like, for a lot of people. It's $12.99. It's not very expensive, and look how much product you get. So, a shit ton of product. I've been using this a lot, and I've kind of barely made a dent in it. So, this is really good, and there is flashback with this, though. That is the one con, is there is insane flashback with this. Like, I was taking pictures of this summer. I saw my flashback in the camera, I was like, oh my god, that is crazy, the flashback you get. So if you're taking flash photography, don't use that powder, but it does help bake your face and stuff. The Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light. Oh my god. This is $50? $50. I don't know, it might have even been $52. And it was even more expensive in Canada, obviously, plus tax. This is the most beautiful bronzer. I don't even know, like, you can't even, like, overdo it because it's so, like, bronzy and light, but it's just so beautiful. I tell you what, like, I put this all over my face, so I kind of do my bronzer, like, across my forehead, above my contour, along the bridge of my nose, my cheeks, just kind of all over to give, like, a natural sun-kissed look, so it looks like the sun hit your face. And it's just such a beautiful bronzy, like, you don't look muddy at all. It makes you look radiant. Like, it makes it look like a bronze glow from within. Like you got sun. Like, it's just, oh, it's such a perfect freaking bronzer. These Glossier Cloud Paints. You only need a little spit. Put it around here. It gives you this nice flush of color on your cheeks if you're not. And you can kind of shears itself out, you know what I mean? Like, it blends, like, kind of like, it's not as crazy intense as sometimes, like, going heavy-handed in a powder would be. It's just this beautiful flush of just natural color on your cheeks. I love using those. I used them a lot over the summer. Just kind of easy, flushed look, you know what I mean? Like, so pretty. This is the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. This had so much hype around it when it came out because it is cannabis oil infused mascara. But let me tell you what, my eyelashes when I use this looks like I'm wearing falsies. Those are my fake eyelashes. Like it's an amazing mascara, but it's $24, which is spending $24 on a mascara. Mascara goes bad probably the quickest out of all products. It dries out so freaking fast. So you have to like kind of take care of your mascara and make sure you seal it closed tightly so that it doesn't dry out. But it looks like I'm wearing false lashes when I'm wearing that mascara. It is insanely gorgeous, insanely intense, insanely just beautiful. But if you don't want to spend $24 on a mascara, I do not blame you because that's a freaking lot of money for mascara. Like, usually for mascara, I was using an e.l.f. mascara before that worked really well, and I probably will go back to that e.l.f. mascara because I can't, I don't know, like $24 on a mascara seems like something once in a blue moon. The last Holy Grail products are my Balm.coms from Glossier as well. I carry these around with me everywhere in Canada. They smell really good. They're mildly okay at moisturizing your lips. They just smell really good. They're really cute. They're aesthetically pleasing. But I tell you what, my two favorite ones are the coconut one, just because it smells so freaking good, and this cherry one because it provides a light red sheer tint. And over the summer, when I didn't feel like digging through my lip products and figuring out which, I didn't really want to wear a heavy lip product on my lips over the summer, I would just pop this on my lips, added a nice wash of red color, and I put my Glossier gloss over it, and my lips were good to go. Like, this is gorgeous. I carry this with me everywhere because it's just this beautiful, light, flushy red. I keep using the word flush in this video. What is with me and that word today? I just can't think of a light wash of color. Well, it's like a lip tint. So you know what a lip tint, lip stain, lip tint, a tinted lip balm. It's beautiful though. It's just very subtle. It smells like cherry. It smells really good. Oh, well, okay. It smells like synthetic cherry. It smells chemically cherry. So I like that smell, but I know some people are like, what the hell? So those are my current favorites slash kind of like holy grails, I would say at this point. They've earned holy grail status because I've used them so much and I use them all summer, so it's not even just like current favorites anymore. It's kind of turned into my my holy grails. So that is it for this video, guys. I will see you guys soon. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, do all that stuff, guys, and I will see you guys later. Bye.